It's because he's white. Jokes aside, today we're actually going to be trying to find out why Post Malone is so popular. So Post Malone has been absolutely blowing up recently. He had Congratulations, which was a hit, White Iverson, which was a hit, and his most recent song, Rockstar featuring 21 Savage, is now #1, or actually it's #2, but it seems to be soon to be #1 as it still doesn't have a music video out, with Bodak Yellow being #1 right now. I expect the Rockstar to be #1 sometime within the next few weeks. So when White Iverson originally came out, a lot of people really just wrote Post Malone off. They thought he was only going to be in the game for a little bit, and they thought that White Iverson was going to be his one hit, and then he would fade away like a lot of other one-hit wonders that we've seen in hip-hop. And to be honest, at the time, I kind of agreed with these people. I didn't know how much lasting power Post Malone would have, but I'm happy to say I was very, and I mean very, wrong. When his album Stoney came out, which was really anticipated, he even dropped a mixtape called August 26th, I believe, where that was supposed to be the release of his album. The album inevitably got pushed back, and when he finally released, he only sold 58,000 copies in the first week, and that also equates with the White Iverson sales. So a lot of people thought he kind of flopped, and they honestly didn't think Post Malone was really going to have a future, and they thought, hey, this just goes to show that this guy doesn't really have what it takes. But now we're looking months later, and Stoney is now platinum. So what exactly happened? I say this time and time again, and people still don't seem to listen, and it's the fact that personality is one of the most important things in rap, and Post Malone absolutely has that in spades. People like Lil Pump and Danielle Bregoli have pretty much made careers not only off their music, but for the fact that, you know, they have these interesting personalities and people find them to be very interesting. While Post Malone isn't a Danielle Bregoli or Lil Pump in terms of acting wild and acting crazy, Post Malone is just a likable guy, and his personality is why I feel so many people flock to Post Malone, and why he has so many fans, and why his fan base seems so dedicated to supporting him, and why a lot of these songs are getting so popular. So after Stoney released, Post Malone actually went on a long tour of interviews. It seemed like you seemingly saw him everywhere all over YouTube. He was on Hot Ones, he was on Hot 97, he was even on a podcast with H3H3, which they're now friends. It seems like he was going anywhere he could to get promotion, and when he was doing these interviews, it just went to show, hey, Post Malone is actually a really likable guy, and a lot of people really bought into his personality, and I think that's what really propelled his career forward. Not only does he have a good personality, he actually makes some solid music. So when people actually started to find out about Post Malone and started to see that he was just a fun, goofy guy, when they actually went to go check out his music, they said, hey, this actually isn't that bad. Like I said, Post is more of just a relatable, goofy guy. A lot of people out there, including the H3H3 fan base, can really relate with this guy, and he really picked up on a demographic that a lot of people didn't really see. Hell, this guy even was friends with Sky Does Minecraft and a whole group of YouTubers before he even got famous. He is shameless. He even has a video of him doing some like ridiculous dance. Like, the dude's just funny. He like jokes around. He just knows how to have fun, and he doesn't take himself overly seriously. And I feel like that's one of the big appeals of Post Malone, is he's just a likable, goofy dude. Now we have to look at the elephant in the room. Post Malone is definitely partially popular because he is white. And that's not a bad thing. Before you leave your comments telling me, oh, this is bullshit, Post Malone's a talented artist, this and that. Post Malone is a very talented artist, and he makes dope music in my opinion. I've been fucking with Post Malone long before Stoney even came out, and long before all this hype was here for Post Malone. But to say that him being white isn't a factor in his popularity would be a little bit ridiculous to say. Post Malone is different from typical rappers in terms of the fact that he has more of country roots. He likes to play the guitar, and you can definitely see that country influence in some of his songs, and that's really what makes him stand out and unique. But him also being white plays into this as well, because he's able to attract a bigger fan base than he would have otherwise. White rappers tend to attract a more fan base that isn't really the traditional hip-hop urban demographic that a lot of people go for. They tend to be a lot more casual fans, and they tend to get a lot of people who aren't really into hip-hop, and the type of people who say shit like, oh, I hate all the rap that's about drugs and this and that, and I hate all that kind of shit. The people who are too woke for real hip-hop, I guess they would say. It reminds me of a joke Mac Miller said in one of his interviews with Noisy, where he was talking about the average commenter on one of his videos. Goes, dude, my favorite rappers are G-Eazy, Mac Miller, and Eminem. It totally has nothing to do with race though. But, and to be completely honest, we all know people like that. We all know people who swear that these white rappers are the saviors of hip-hop and they're the greatest thing ever, and it's realistically only because they're white and they sometimes make somewhat cookie cutter music, I guess you could say. Is this to say that the reason Post Malone is popular is because he's white and the only reason he's popular is because he's white? Obviously not. That would be fucking ridiculous. There's no one reason he's popular, but there's just a bunch of reasons that kind of contribute into this. And him being white is definitely one of those things. Like I said, is there anything wrong with that? No. Is Post Malone a culture vulture because he's white and he makes hip hop music? No. That would also be ridiculous to say, but we still see people saying that. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is him being white definitely plays a factor into it. It's definitely got him a bigger audience, and it's definitely got him an audience that can be more casual and they can more relate with him than someone like, let's say, a 21 Savage. Speaking of 21 Savage and Post Malone, it really goes to show that Post Malone is able to capture both of these audiences, as he's gotten people like Quavo on Congratulations, who delivers a solid verse, and people like 21 Savage on the song Rockstar, which can also deliver a solid verse. It goes to show that both of these styles can really go well together, and it shows that Post Malone can really capture both of these style of audiences, people who are into like trap bangers and people who are more into like the chill like style of Post Malone, more like country style and stuff like that, and more just like, you know, just more chill hip hop. He's really good at capturing both of these audiences, and that has definitely helped propel his career even further. So why is Post Malone popular? I think it comes down to just the fact that his personality is really good, and in a day and age where personality seems to be more important than actual lyrics and songs, that is something that Post Malone has in spades. He also makes really good music as well, which I really feel like though was just shown with Stoney, which I feel like was a solid album. I'm excited to hear Beer Bongs and Bentleys, as it's one of my most anticipated projects of the next year. Hopefully it comes out this year, but you never know with pushbacks and stuff like that. But let me know, are you guys excited for Post Malone's new project? Why do you guys think Post Malone is popular? Why do you like Post Malone? Let me know down in the comments down below. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you dislike the video for some odd reason, hit the dislike button. And if you're new, how about you subscribe? But yeah guys, this has been Throwaway, and as always, peace out.